My name is Robert Chen, and I'm 64 years old. If you're watching this right now, I need you to understand something before I go any further. What I'm about to tell you happened in my daughter's house, to my grandchildren, right under my nose, while I thought everything was fine. This is a story about the kind of evil that smiles at you over coffee, about the betrayal that happens behind closed doors, and about why you should never, ever ignore that voice in your gut that tells you something isn't right. This is about my grandkids, Tyler and Sophie, and the woman my daughter trusted to keep them safe. I'm a retired accountant from Phoenix, Arizona. Spent 40 years working with numbers, finding patterns, catching inconsistencies in spreadsheets that most people would miss. That skill, that attention to detail, it saved my grandchildren's lives. My wife Patricia passed away 6 years ago from breast cancer. We'd been married 42 years. After she died, my daughter Lisa became everything to me. She's 38 now, works in pharmaceutical sales, one of those high-energy people who can't sit still. She got pregnant at 24 with Tyler, married the father, divorced him 3 years later when he couldn't stop drinking, then met another guy, had Sophie, and that relationship fell apart too. So, for the past 11 years, Lisa's been doing it alone. Single mom, 2 kids, climbing the corporate ladder while trying to be present for Tyler and Sophie. I live 15 minutes away from them in a small condo. I see the kids almost every day. Tyler's 14 now, into basketball and video games. Good kid with a smart mouth, sometimes, but a kind heart. Sophie's 11, all energy and imagination, loves drawing and making up stories. Those 2 kids are my whole world. When Patricia died, they're what kept me going. Every Wednesday, I'd take them out for ice cream. Every Saturday morning, Tyler and I would shoot hoops at the park while Sophie would read on the bench or chase pigeons. Last September, Lisa got the call she'd been waiting for. A promotion. Vice President of Regional Sales. Huge salary bump, but it came with a catch. She'd need to travel 3, sometimes 4 days a week. Overnight trips to Los Angeles, San Diego, sometimes up to Seattle. She called me that evening, excited but stressed. "Dad," she said, "I don't know how I'm going to make this work. The kids can't stay alone, and you're not exactly young enough to be doing full-time childcare." I bristled at that. "I'm 64, not 94, Lisa." She laughed. "I know, Dad, but Tyler's got basketball practice. Sophie's got art class. There's homework and dinners, and I need help. Real help." That's when she told me she was going to hire a live-in babysitter. Someone who could stay at the house when she traveled, make sure the kids got to school, help with homework, cook dinner. She'd already started interviewing candidates. 2 weeks later, she found Amanda Torres, 26 years old, college student finishing her master's degree in education online, came with references from 2 previous families. Background check cleared, CPR certified. The whole package. Lisa interviewed her 3 times, checked every reference, even had Tyler and Sophie meet her before making the decision. I met Amanda on a Sunday afternoon at Lisa's house. She was pretty. I'll give her that. Long, dark hair, warm smile, spoke with this soft, gentle voice. She shook my hand firmly, looked me in the eye. "Mr. Chen, it's so nice to meet you. Lisa's told me so much about you. The kids are lucky to have such an involved grandfather." I liked her immediately. She seemed genuine, capable, mature, beyond her 26 years. We all sat in the living room, Lisa going over the schedule, the house rules, emergency contacts. Amanda took notes in a little leather notebook, asked thoughtful questions. "What are Tyler's dietary restrictions? Does Sophie have any fears I should know about? What's the bedtime routine?" The kids seemed comfortable with her. Sophie showed Amanda her art portfolio, and Amanda made all the right comments, asked questions, seemed genuinely interested. Tyler was more reserved, but he's 14. He's reserved about everything. The arrangement was simple. Amanda would move into the guest room on Sunday nights when Lisa had Monday travel. She'd stay through Wednesday or Thursday, depending on Lisa's schedule. I'd still see the kids regularly, stop by to check in, take them out on my usual days. But Amanda would handle the day-to-day stuff. "Dad," Lisa said, as Amanda gave the kids a tour of the kitchen, I need you to keep an eye on things, okay? You're good at noticing when something's off. Just check in regularly. Make sure everyone's doing all right. Of course, I said. You know I will. The first 2 weeks went perfectly. I'd stop by on Monday and Tuesday evenings, and everything seemed fine. Amanda would have dinner ready. The kitchen would be clean. Homework spread out on the dining table. Tyler and Sophie seemed happy. Amanda would chat with me about her day, update me on how the kids were doing in school. Tyler aced his math quiz, she'd say. And Sophie's art teacher wants to put one of her drawings in the school showcase. I'd stay for dinner sometimes, and it all felt so normal, so right. Lisa would call every night from whatever hotel she was in, talk to the kids, and they'd tell her about their day. Everything was working. Then came the third week. It was a Tuesday evening, early October. I stopped by around 6, expecting to find everyone at dinner. Instead, I found Sophie alone in the living room, curled up on the couch with her stuffed rabbit, staring at the TV but not really watching it. "Hey, sweetheart," I said, sitting down next to her. "Where's Amanda and Tyler?" "Amanda's in her room, Tyler's upstairs." Her voice was flat. No enthusiasm, no smile when she looked at me. This wasn't like Sophie. This kid was normally a tornado of energy and chatter. "You okay, honey?" "I'm fine, Grandpa." But she wasn't fine. I could see it. Dark circles under her eyes like she hadn't been sleeping well. She'd lost weight. Her face looked thinner. And she was holding that rabbit so tight, her knuckles were white. "Where's dinner? Have you guys eaten?" Amanda said she'd make pasta later. It was 6:15. These kids normally ate at 5:30. I got up and walked toward the guest room where Amanda stayed. The door was closed. I knocked. "Amanda?" "It's Robert." I heard movement. Then the door opened. Amanda looked flustered, her hair messy, laptop open on the bed behind her. "Oh, Mr. Chen, I didn't hear you come in." "Sorry, I was just finishing up some coursework. Losing track of time. The kids haven't eaten yet." "Oh gosh, you're right. I'll get started on dinner right now." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. And for the first time, I felt something off. Something I couldn't quite put my finger on. I went upstairs to check on Tyler. His door was closed too. I knocked. "Tyler? It's Grandpa. Come in." He was lying on his bed, staring at the ceiling, earbuds in. I could hear the music from across the room. He pulled one earbud out when he saw me. "Hey, Grandpa." "Hey, bud. How was school?" "Fine." Tyler used to tell me everything. What happened in English class, who said what at lunch, drama with his teammates. Now, I was getting one-word answers. "Basketball practice today?" "Yeah." "How'd it go?" "Fine." I sat on the edge of his bed. "Tyler, is everything okay? You seem off." He glanced at the door, then back at me. For a second, I thought he was going to say something. His mouth opened slightly, but then he just shook his head. "I'm just tired, Grandpa. Long day." I didn't push it. But driving home that night, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Both kids seemed withdrawn, nervous. The house felt tense. And Amanda, perfect on paper Amanda, she'd seemed almost irritated that I'd shown up. I called Lisa that night. "Have the kids seemed different to you lately?" I asked. "Different how?" "I don't know. Quieter. Tyler's not talking much, and Sophie looks exhausted." "Dad, they're fine. Tyler's 14. He's moody. Sophie's probably just adjusting to the new routine. It's only been 3 weeks." "Maybe you're right." But I didn't believe it. The next day, I stopped by, unannounced. It was Wednesday afternoon, 3:30. Amanda's car was in the driveway. I let myself in with the key Lisa had given me. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I found Sophie in her room, doing homework, alone. "Where's Amanda and Tyler?" "Tyler's at practice." "Amanda's in the kitchen." "You okay, sweetheart?" Sophie looked up at me, and I saw something in her eyes that made my chest tight. Fear. My 11-year-old granddaughter looked scared. "Grandpa, can I ask you something?" "Anything, honey." "When is Mom coming home?" "Tomorrow night, baby." "Why?" She looked down at her homework. "No reason. I just miss her." I found Amanda in the kitchen, on her phone, texting. She jumped when she saw me. "Mr. Chen, I didn't expect you today. Just checking in. Everything okay here?" Of course. Sophie's doing homework, Tyler's at practice. Everything's fine. But her smile was tight, forced. And I noticed something on the counter. Sophie's art supplies, the expensive ones Lisa had bought her for her birthday, were in a trash bag. What's this? Oh, Sophie left those all over the living room. I told her if she couldn't clean up after herself, I'd throw them away. These cost $80. Amanda shrugged. She needs to learn responsibility. Something cold settled in my stomach. Lisa would never throw away Sophie's art supplies as punishment. Never. This wasn't discipline. This was cruelty. I took the bag out of the trash. I'll hold on to these for now. Amanda's jaw tightened, but she didn't argue. I stayed until Tyler got home from practice. He barely acknowledged Amanda when he walked in, went straight upstairs. She watched him go with this expression I couldn't read. Not concern. Something harder. Almost like resentment. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Sophie's scared eyes, Tyler's silence, Amanda's forced smiles. The next morning, I did something I'd never done before. I looked up Amanda Torres online. Her social media was locked down, private. But I found an old news article from 2 years ago. A family in Scottsdale had filed a complaint against a babysitter named Amanda Torres for neglect and verbal abuse. The case was dismissed due to lack of evidence. It was probably a different Amanda Torres. Phoenix area has thousands of people, but the age matched. The description matched. I called the family whose number was listed in the article. A woman answered. Hello? Hi, my name is Robert Chen. I'm calling because my daughter hired a babysitter named Amanda Torres, and I found an article about a complaint you filed. Get rid of her. The woman's voice was sharp, urgent. Right now. Get her away from your grandchildren. My blood went cold. What did she do? She was supposed to watch our 2 boys for 6 months while I went through chemotherapy. For the first month, everything seemed fine. Then my youngest started having nightmares. Wetting the bed, my oldest wouldn't talk to us anymore. We set up a nanny cam and caught her screaming at them, calling them names, locking our youngest in the closet when he cried. We fired her immediately and tried to press charges, but we didn't have enough evidence. She's sick. She's manipulative. Please, get her away from your family. I thanked her and hung up with shaking hands. I immediately called Lisa. Dad, I'm in a meeting. This can't wait. Amanda Torres, the woman watching your children. She abused kids before, 2 years ago in Scottsdale. What? Dad, that's impossible. Her background check was clean. The case was dismissed. It wouldn't show up. Lisa, I talked to the mother. I need you to come home. Now. Dad, I can't just leave. I have presentations all day. I'll be home tomorrow night like planned. Just keep an eye on things, okay? If you're that worried, stay at the house today. I'm going over there right now. I drove to Lisa's house, my mind racing. When I arrived, Amanda's car was there, but all the curtains were drawn. I used my key to get in. The house was dark, quiet. I called out, Amanda? Kids? No answer. I checked the living room, the kitchen, empty. Then I heard it, a small sound from upstairs, like someone crying. I took the stairs 2 at a time. Sophie's door was locked from the outside. There was a hook and eye latch that had never been there before. Sophie? Grandpa? Her voice was small, terrified. I unlatched the door. Sophie was curled up on her bed, face red from crying, and I saw it. A bruise on her arm, dark purple, the size of an adult's grip. Who did this to you? Before she could answer, I heard Tyler's voice from his room. Grandpa, in here. I found him locked in too. His face was pale, angry. Where's Amanda? I demanded. She left. Said she had class and locked us in, so we wouldn't make a mess. I pulled out my phone and called 911. This is Robert Chen. I need police at 4782 Saguaro Lane immediately. My grandchildren have been locked in their rooms by their caregiver, and my granddaughter has bruises. The operator kept me on the line. I got the kids out, brought them downstairs, held Sophie while she cried. Tyler sat next to us, jaw clenched, and finally he started talking. She's been like this for 2 weeks, Grandpa. When you and Mom aren't around. She screams at us. calls us brats, makes us do her homework for her. Tyler does her statistics problems. She makes Sophie write her essays. If we don't do it right, she hits us. She locked Sophie in the closet overnight once when Sophie told her no. My hands were shaking. Why didn't you tell me? Tell your mother? She said if we told, she'd say we were lying, that no one would believe us because she's the adult and we're just kids. She said Mom would lose her job and it would be our fault. The police arrived within 10 minutes. So did Amanda, walking in like nothing was wrong, smile on her face until she saw the officers. Her smile disappeared. What's going on? Ma'am, we need to ask you some questions. I showed them the bruises on Sophie. Tyler told them everything. About the locked rooms, the forced homework, the verbal abuse, the threats. I told them about the Scottsdale case, the phone call I'd made. They took Amanda down to the station. Lisa arrived 2 hours later, having driven straight through from Los Angeles. She was devastated, guilt-ridden, held both kids and cried. The next few days were a blur. I installed cameras throughout the house, wished I'd done it sooner. Police reviewed Tyler's phone and found messages from Amanda that proved Tyler had been doing her coursework. Sophie's teacher confirmed she'd noticed Sophie becoming withdrawn and frightened over the past few weeks. The bruises were photographed, documented. Neighbors came forward saying they'd heard Amanda yelling through the windows but didn't want to interfere. Amanda was charged with child abuse, false imprisonment, assault, and coercion. Her lawyer tried to paint the kids as difficult, claimed she was just trying to maintain discipline, but the evidence was overwhelming. The Scottsdale family came forward officially this time. Another family from Tempe contacted police saying Amanda had worked for them the year before and they'd fired her for similar reasons but never reported it. The trial took 6 months. Amanda was convicted on all counts and sentenced to 4 years in prison, plus mandatory counseling and a permanent ban from working with children. Tyler and Sophie went to therapy. Lisa cut back her travel to 1 day a week. I moved into the guest room for 3 months to help out while the kids healed. It was hard. Tyler had nightmares. Sophie was afraid to be alone in her room, but slowly, gradually, they got better. Sophie draws again now. Tyler smiles. Lisa found a different job with less travel. And I learned something about trusting your instincts that I want everyone watching this to understand. I'm an accountant. I spent my whole career looking at numbers, finding patterns, catching things that didn't add up. When something feels wrong, when the numbers don't balance, you investigate. You don't ignore it. You don't tell yourself you're overreacting. When I saw Sophie's scared eyes, when I heard Tyler's one-word answers, when I felt that cold feeling in my gut around Amanda, those were the numbers not adding up. And I should have acted sooner. I should have installed cameras that first week. I felt something was off. I should have trusted my instincts instead of trusting the background check, the references, the smiles. My grandchildren suffered for 2 weeks longer than they should have because I second-guessed myself. Because I didn't want to seem paranoid. Because Amanda seemed so perfect on paper. If you're watching this and you have children or grandchildren in your life, please hear me. Background checks aren't enough. References can be faked or intimidated. Predators are good at wearing masks, at seeming trustworthy, at knowing exactly what to say and how to act when adults are watching. Watch for changes in behavior, withdrawal, fear, nightmares, loss of appetite, kids who suddenly don't want to be alone with someone they used to like. These are red flags. Don't ignore them. Don't tell yourself it's just a phase or they're being dramatic. Talk to your kids regularly in private, where they feel safe. Ask specific questions. Does anyone ever make you feel scared? Does anyone ever hurt you or say mean things when grown-ups aren't around? Create an environment where they know they can tell you anything without getting in trouble. And if your gut tells you something's wrong, investigate. Install cameras. You can get them for $100 on Amazon. They're legal in your own home and common areas. Document everything. Trust but verify. I share this story because child abuse happens in homes that look normal from the outside. It happens with caregivers who pass background checks, who smile and seem competent and professional. It happens because children are vulnerable, because abusers are manipulative, because we want to believe the best in people. Tyler and Sophie are safe now. They're healing. Sophie told me last week she wants to be a child psychologist when she grows up, to help other kids who've been through what she went through. Tyler's talking about studying criminal justice. They're turning their trauma into purpose, and I'm so proud of them. But I'll carry the guilt of those 2 weeks for the rest of my life. 2 weeks I could have prevented if I'd acted faster, trusted my instincts sooner, installed those cameras the first day. I felt something was wrong. Don't make my mistake. If you see something, say something. If you feel something, investigate. If a child tries to tell you they're scared or uncomfortable, believe them. Children don't lie about being afraid. Contact your local police, Child Protective Services, or the National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4224-453. There are resources available. Use them. And to anyone watching this who's going through something similar, who's being hurt or knows a child being hurt, please understand this. It's not your fault. You deserve safety. You deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. What's happening to you is wrong, and there are people who will help you if you can find the courage to tell someone you trust. To everyone who made it through this story, thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Share this if you think it might help someone. Talk about child safety. Don't let abuse stay hidden in the darkness where it thrives. Be vigilant. Be brave. Be the person who speaks up. Because silence protects abusers. Truth protects children. And protecting children is the most important thing any of us can do.